Welcome to another episode of Tezos Explained, and today we have Arthur Breitman, and we're going to talk about wallets. So maybe let's start from the beginning. What wallet is?
What a wallet is? Wallets are often poorly named. They're more like keychains than wallets. Mm-hmm. And they used to be called keychains when people were doing, PGP encryption or GPG encryption. You had your keychain, and that was the idea. And, wallets hold your keys. They don't hold your assets. The coins are on a chain, and then you have the keys to it.
Yeah.
The design of wallet goes from minimal to maximal. So the minimal wallet is something that it has a key. It receives requests to sign stuff, and it signs stuff. It's a popular design for dApps, for example, because oftentimes dApps will craft a complicated transaction. They will send it to the wallets. On Tezos, we use Beacon, or for other blockchains also use Wallet Connect. It's interesting because it puts it in the hand of the developer, the role to create all this UX, as opposed to the wallet trying to be able to integrate every single dApp. One of the difficulty with it is that oftentimes people do not know what they're signing. So they have to trust the website, not to send them something malicious, which is how people end up, navigating to a website and saying I can claim a free NFT. And then they're just signing a hash. They have no idea what it is. And they end up sending all their assets to someone else. It's a terrible pattern. On Tezos, Temple will show you a bit more what's going on. You have a sense of which assets are living. One of the benefits of using Michelson is you have a lot more human interpretability to what's going on. Ledgers, are hardware wallets. They're moving also towards making you read all the details of the transaction before you sign, which is also not very practical, and it's a weakness. Now, that's on the minimal side of wallet. On the maximal side of wallets, you have wallets like Exodus, for example, which will bring in the apps inside a wallet. It's a very rich wallet. You can do swaps within the wallet. You can do all of that, which curates more the user experience. And then, everything in between.
Yeah, and so the security part is extremely important. Blockchain can be very, very secure, but the education for the user, the end user, is equally important, isn't it?
If it were just a few things that users need to know to be safe, you could argue for education. Mm-hmm. But it's not. You've had so many people be drained of their wallets, including sophisticated people. Spear phishing attacks can get quite good. Sometimes it's also a DNS attack. You could go to a website you trust, and their DNS has just been hijacked. You sign a transaction, and then you lose everything. And you don't want to rely just on user education for that.
Let's look at the picture of wallets in our ecosystem and how they will be affected by Tezos X.
Yeah, so Tezos X brings a lot more functionality to Tezos, and so the wallets, of course, will have to adapt. You want to have graceful degradation. So, for example, at some point, I would imagine Etherlink would be subsumed by a bigger Tezos X rollup. You don't want to lose MetaMask compatibility when you do that. It's very, very valuable that you have some people using Etherlink, and all they know about it is that it's kind of a drop-in replacement for Ethereum EVM chain. They don't have to think about it. It works with MetaMask. It works with everything else. And you kind of want to, hide the rest and mock it up so that if you're using this tool, it gracefully degrades into only an EVM rollup. But if you're using a better tool, a better wallet that's built for the Tezos ecosystem and for the Tezos X ecosystem, then you have access to greater functionality. You have access to everything. So that's, I would say, a key component of it. But of course, if you start needing to interact with smart contracts, in JavaScript or in Michelson and have different functionalities, and of course that needs to be reflected in a wallet. But again, it's not necessarily a huge challenge because, like I said, most of what wallets do is, get a request for a transaction and sign it. That's not that different regardless of which blockchain you do it on. A lot of the work around a wallet, for example, is aside from the security, is having access to good indexers. People want to log into their wallet and they want to see all their balances. Strictly speaking, you could think that's not the job of a wallet, but it is. They want to see their balances. So you need a good indexer who has a sense of what is the state of the chain and can reflect that state back to the user. The other thing is I think anyone building a wallet today needs to make a multi-chain wallet because almost every user out there using blockchains is going to be wanting to use more than one blockchain, but they do not want to use more than one wallet. So if you can be the wallet where they are going to find all their needs, that is fine, that's great.
Please tell me how the landscape for wallets in general will change open in terms of implementing Tezlink, for example, or Justice, because one of the challenges for Justice is implementing tooling and for end users as well.
So for Tezlink, again, same goal as Etherlink. bigger drop-in replacement for Tezos chain. So like any Tezos wallet can work very easily with minimal modification for Tezlink. And the way that wallets interact with the chain is mostly through RPCs. RPCs from indexers or RPC from nodes. So long as they can call the same RPCs from Tezlink, they're in good shape. Same thing with Etherlink. All these Ethereum wallets, they call RPCs. If they get the right answer to the RPC, they'll be able to deal with it. For Justice, it's a bit new. So on the one hand, with Justice, you inherit a lot of infrastructure, a lot of tooling that you do not have to build. That's one of the value, which is all the JavaScript stuff. But you also have to build some of it on the wallet side. But I would say like a lot of the work that goes into a wallet, securing the keys, making the workflow usable for the user, a lot of that, once you've written it for one chain, it comes naturally for the other ones. So the work on that I foresee for something like Justice would be more around thinking about transport mechanisms for transactions towards wallets, thinking about displaying the content of transactions, and indexers.
Okay. So imagine you have a magic wand.
Yeah.
And you can create a perfect wallet for Tezos X.
Yeah.
What it would be?
Somewhere in between the minimal and maximal wallets. I still think you don't want to integrate everything because there's just so much innovation and people launching apps all the time. The type of things that wallets like Temple or Kukai hits, I think is good. Maybe a bit more, a little more, toward in the direction of integration. Multi-platform. I think you want to have a web wallet, an extension wallet, a desktop wallet, and a mobile wallet. If you have that, you basically covered all your bases. Social media accounts, passkeys are quite, they're becoming more popular. So that's an important thing. Multi-chain. It's not just Tezos X. You should be able to access Solana, Ethereum, all the other popular chains. The type of native functionality you kind of want to build it in the wallet as opposed to either going to a dApp. I would say bridging, trading. And in fact, also trading has been a big source of revenues for wallets. So integration of swaps directly inside the wallet. Potentially something like intents, in some sense, hey, I have a bunch of assets on different chains. I don't care where they are. I want another set of assets.
Yeah.
And I just want the cost to be low. Figure it out. I think that's a great experience for users. Social recovery, I think, some people have tried to do it. It's not really been pushed, but I think it's an important one to have.
Yeah.
Like ideally, you want something as easy as a passkey, but then for your passphrase, have a social recovery mechanism. That's a good balance.
And it's industry standard, I think. For me as a user, I use a social login.
You're an advanced user. Most people will just use MetaMask and never know anything else.
Okay, so the magic wand is on the builder side, and if there is a way of creating or improving the current existing wallet, I think they will figure out a way, and Tezos X is a great playground to implement new features and open to other chains as well. So the future is bright.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and see you next time.